Hello and welcome to the Accountancy Age Big Question. Today we're discussing corporate reporting in the FTSE 100 and who the candidates are for the top job at HM Revenue and Customs. First to that corporate reporting story. Penny, you've been talking to Black Sun, who've produced their latest report into the annual reports of the FTSE 100. There's a gap opening up, I understand, between the best and the worst companies in terms of their reporting.
Yeah, absolutely. There seems to be some companies which are doing well, doing even better and really honing their reports. But some of the companies are really actually emerging as the worst, seem to be doing the bare minimum. They seem to have not really made the transition yet to being really comfortable with the new reporting requirements. And in some instances, they're actually building on older regimes. So it's making it a little bit more difficult for them to communicate their business over the year.
Yeah, I think we're all very familiar with getting sort of the bare minimum. One area that is quite interesting is on e-reporting and sort of electronic filing of reports. I mean, generally, you just get the PDF bunged up online. Is it getting better than that?
Well, that is exactly the criticism that Black Sun actually made. There is the Companies Act, which has made allowance for companies to now engage with their shareholders online. And they needed to get approval for this. This has been done. Most people have actually have got the resolution in place. But apart from literally putting things online, putting the printed version online, they haven't done more than that. And the criticism is that they're not really using the online medium as an interactive tool with shareholders. Interestingly enough, Black Sun also pointed to some of their Danish clients who've already been filing their reports online exclusively for the last 5 years. But they're now at the phase where they're needing to re-engage shareholders because this has also become a sort of boilerplate exercise in an online environment.
Perhaps they should all look at Accountancy Age's Young Professional in order to learn about interactive magazines.
Perhaps.
The other question, I mean, I suppose the real question is what's actually in the reports. I mean, are we getting sort of meaningful disclosures, or is it just reams and reams of material, just sort of boilerplate announcements?
Well, Black Sun wasn't able to actually say how this is being received. There is a criticism from management that there's just too much that they need to do, too much information that they need to communicate. Having said that, there is some acknowledgement that they need to consider risk and greater transparency, especially in the following the credit crunch. There's more emphasis going to be placed on good governance. Surprisingly, some companies don't seem to realize that only 18% of FTSE 100 companies would, for example, disclose the past histories of their board members. And this becomes particularly contentious when you have a board member who's got history with a PLC that has had an area that it's failed in, and perhaps that member was responsible for that area and now has to be responsible for it again in the new appointment. So it becomes an issue, and we're probably going to see more of that.
Okay, thanks for that, Penny. Now we go to our other story this week. David Jetuah has been finding out about who is going to be the next chief executive of HMRC. Dave, who are the names in the frame?
Well, Alex, it's actually hotting up right now. We've actually got two ladies in the mix this time. We've got Leslie Strathy and Alexis Cleveland, as well as Steve Lamy, and obviously you've still got Dave Hartnett.
So sort of a four-horse race.
Absolutely.
I mean, the perception is that Dave Hartnett might like to step back and do more tax policy stuff again, which maybe tax advisors might be pleased about. Who are the other candidates?
As I say, Leslie Strathy is the chief exec of Job Centre Plus, and a very big Arsenal fan, which will please some people. You've also got Alexis Cleveland, who's the transformational director of the Cabinet Office and for government. So she's actually got a very good kind of grounding in making sure that all the procedures and processes are in place, which obviously HMRC are needing at the moment.
And I mean, we'll be more. I mean, our viewers will be more familiar with Steve Lamy.
Yeah.
Who's the favourite to get the job?
I reckon. I think Lamy's out in front at the moment. So that's where the smart money is apparently. But some of our contacts are saying that it's taking an unconscionably long time to actually get around to this. So I think HMRC needs to get themselves get themselves moving on this. I think.
I mean, that would be it. I mean, Steve Lamy, the highest paid man at HMRC, might actually end up with the top job as well. That might bring some sense to their remuneration structure.
Well, that's a very contentious issue, Alex. I'm not going to weigh into that one just now, I don't think.
Okay. Thanks for that, Dave. And thanks for joining us this week. We'll be back again same time next week.